Alright, welcome back to Cole's Farm, North Carolina. It's July 23rd. It's about 9 a.m. It's 81 degrees and feels like 88. Nothing real surprising there. The humidity's 88%. Once again, according to the WeatherBug app, the pollen is at a 2.8 out of 10, and the predominant sources are grass, nettle, sorrel, and duck, I believe. I'd have to look that up. I'm not sure exactly what that is. It's been 14 days since the last inspection, so if any queen cells were developed after I inspected last time, the reason I'm on a 14-day cycle is because it takes 16 days for a queen cell to fully develop and hatch. So in theory, if you inspect your hive every 14 days, part of the management of your hive would be to make a decision what to do with those queen cells if you had any, whether they were supersedral, the top third, or swarm cells on the bottom of the frame. And then it's been 7 days since I fed the bees last. I increased their food to 5 full 1-quart mason jars, which holds about 12 and a half pounds of syrup. Spoiler alert, yesterday I was out here with Dave Peed, my mentor from the county association, and I don't want to use the word fumigate it, but we vaporized some acylic acid to treat the hives. Well, their first of 3 treatments for the varroa mite. And I did pop the lid, and I saw some syrup was remaining yesterday in one of the jars, I believe. Well, it's the only one I noticed. And if I had to guess, probably about a half pound or so. So we'll see if that's still there. I did make 5 more mason jars, well, 4 full ones and one's about half full, which yields about 11 pounds and 12 ounces, 11 and 3/4 pounds. So that should do them well for the next week. The reason I'm feeding them so much, 2 reasons. One, North Carolina is going through a dearth right now. Not too much is really in bloom until about August, when the goldenrod really starts to pop up. And 2, I'm trying to get the top brood chamber fully drawn out going into winter, so they'll have it'll be a healthy hive, and then next spring they can start basically building up a lot quicker. So we're going to open up the hive and see how things look. Well, that's somewhat expected. Most of the jars are empty, but there's quite a bit left. Quite a bit, as in 2 are about a third full still, and that one might have a quarter left. So that extra jar really carried them past the 7-day mark. When I was giving them 4 jars, they would have consumed it all in a week. So that's the other thing. The little beetle traps, these are temporary. Well, I mean, they're disposable. You just fill them with oil, of course, and then toss them. I've basically tried to maximize my use out of this. I don't know how old they are. I know I've had them in the hive since I bought the nuke back in late March or April. Can't remember. However, Brushy Mountain sells them for like just under $4, I think. If you go to the Beetle Jail's website, you can buy them straight from them. They ship out of South Carolina, and they're $3 flat. So, oh, and the thing with those, they're reusable as well. So I ordered some. They're on back order right now. I think I'll get them in the next week or so. So one of the next inspection videos, y'all should see that. Alright, frame 1 and 2 of the top chamber, kind of expected, not much going on, but frame 3 actually has some nice weight to it. They've drawn out more comb than last time, which is great. and it looks like they're storing a lot of the nectar, most likely the sugar water that I've been giving them. So things are working. So if this is frame 3, I'm anticipating the rest of the frames in the top chamber, probably minus frame 9 and 10, just because it's on the outside as well, will actually have nice built comb. Frame 4 is looking good. Got some capped brood. Somewhat of a spotty pattern, but I think the, it's hard to tell with all the bees, but I think the brood that's not capped has spun larvae in different stages, of course. And I'm looking for some eggs. Yep, we got eggs that are standing up, so the queen was here within a day. Frame number 7 has some nice comb built up, a whole lot of nectar stored. Partially worried if they're going to become honey bound just because I'm feeding them so much, but we'll just kind of keep pressing and see how things turn out. quick close-up of the bottom chamber. Frame 2 of the bottom chamber, I mean, they're building it, but I mean, this is just some weird looking comb. I keep going back and forth in my head to scrape it and repurpose it for something. This is one of the new frames, frame 3 on the inside that faces the interior of the hive. Nice built comb, a lot of pollen, basically their food bank, and the outside, they're slowly building it. So frame 4, nice brood, and then on this side it had what was starting to look like a supersedral cell on the bottom. And then the other thing I noticed with this, more drone brood in the bottom right corner here. Not anything terribly concerning, but just the most drone brood I've seen so far. This hive's done pretty well, probably because it was a new hive and they had plenty of space. Not too much or excessive drone brood being made, but now we have a small section in the bottom right. I mean, these girls are doing such a nice job with packing the pollen in here. This side, the top right, and then this side, I mean, just throughout. Just pollen for days. Frame 6. Nice cap brood. Not too many drones. Still haven't spotted the queen yet, but that's just how this one is. Very elusive. Frame number 8. Nice capped honey, nice capped brood. It's got a little bit of weight to it. Something very strange going on here in the top center now. I don't know if the camera can see that, of course, but this whole blob is moving together, and I wonder why. Well, I don't know if the queen was there or not. I don't see her. I lightly blew on it and the blob dispersed. So that was strange and new. This is also the heaviest frame. Still no queen, but she's in there. She laid eggs a day ago in the top brood chamber. Alright, kind of took my time this week, but and reused some of the unused syrup from last week. So each one's 2.5 pounds, so that's 5, 10, 12.5 pounds of syrup. They should definitely be good for the next 2 weeks. Alright, well that concludes week 17's inspection. Things went quite well. Ended up squishing one possible swarm cell was on the bottom third. In the top brood chamber, I believe. I have to go back and watch the video. I can't really remember. And then on the same frame, there was more capped drone brood than usual, but needless to say, it's still a very small amount. When there's a lot of drone brood being built and being capped where it's very clear, there's a whole mess of them, that's when you should start to be concerned, because drones are used for mating, and if there's a supersedral swell or swarm cell in conjunction with that, you know, you might have something going on. So none of that was happening here. Overall, things are looking great. Recycled some of the sugar water from last week, which surprisingly they didn't consume it all. So they have 5 full 1-quart mason jars, which to the lip holds 2 pounds 8 ounces. So that times 5 gives them about, let's see, 5, 10, 12.5 pounds of sugar water, which should be just fine for the next 2 weeks. So overall, things went well. Didn't spot the queen, but that's absolutely normal at this point. In the top chamber, frames 3, 4, or 5, I can't remember exactly which one I first noticed, but day-old eggs. So she's still in there. She's laying in the top chamber, which was the same from last inspection. So things are going quite well. I have high hopes that the top chamber will be built out before the winter, so I'm just going to keep supplementing them for probably, well, this might be the last week or so, maybe one more week. So maybe 2 weeks total until the goldenrod starts to bloom. And once that does, the cycle on that, I believe, is about 80 days. So that takes them all the way into the onset of winter. Goldenrod, you know, basically what I've been told, since I haven't harvested any honey, you can, some people do, but it's a very pungent honey. So it might not be best for eating, but it's definitely just fine for the bees. So that's Cole's farm for week 17's inspection. Thanks for watching, and you know, any sort of comments, if anybody noticed anything I'm doing, you know, incorrectly in their opinion, feel free to share. I got pretty thick skin. Always looking for some feedback from more experienced beekeepers. Any tips or tricks, or just, you know, things that you notice that I could be doing better, always appreciated. Thanks for watching.